Hello everybody. So I heard a lot of speakers today, and the thought process with which I had come today has got more stronger hearing everybody. So my journey, which started when I was in class 10th, I was a student myself, so all the students here would love to relate with what I'm going to be telling them. My board exams just got over, and most of my classmates, everybody was figuring out which school to join now, what stream to pick up now, what should we do, how should we go about. And some of them even enrolled in the school based on their pre-board scores. I didn't want to do either of it. I was sitting in my balcony and I saw the newspaper and a pamphlet fell down from it which said a personality development course. And immediately I went to my grandfather. He was a primary caregiver at that time, and I told him that I want to do this. He looked at me with a very skeptical reaction, and he thought that you just got free from your board exams, you want to do a course now again? I mean, why? Why would you want to do that? But he didn't say this. Only his reaction told me that this is what he feels about it right now. So I took my mother and I went to the academy inquiring about this course. I wanted to know what is it about, how is the structure, how much time they would take in this. So I had April, I had May, June. And they said we have a short-term course which is for these 3 months. So immediately when they said, I said, I want to do this. So I went through the structure. I found it really interesting, going for 2-3 hours, doing this course. It was very appealing to me. The moment I saw the fee structure, I said, Mummy, ghar wapis chale. This is too much. I came back and I went to my grandfather, and with my own brain that I had at that time, I told him that I think we can do it in future, post class 12th. Okay, for me it was an extracurricular activity. So I said, why do we need to invest time right now in this? Or rather time, I was little afraid to say that this is the amount I wanted to invest in this course. It's been 17, 18 years to what I'm telling you right now. My grandfather is not amongst us now, and his words are still lingering in my mind. He said, who saw the future? What we are talking right now is future. This is future. Life is like a bubble in the water. You're planning something 2-3 years later when it has come to your mind now. Why do you want to wait so much? And another 5 days down the line, I found myself enrolled in that course. And I started going for that course, 3 months. My course got over. I joined back in class 11th. I started my school again. Cut to it 1 year later, I find myself training kids when I was myself in class 11th for personality. Down the lane, only 1 year, that same place calls me back and asks me that can you please come over? We would like to do it. And I was skeptical. मैं तो खुद स्कूल में हूँ. मैं बच्चे कैसे पढ़ाऊँगी? मैं बच्चों को कैसे train करूँगी? It was my first thing. But there was somebody, some force that trusted me, and I went there and I started training those kids. Post my school hours, basically. During that time was the real true calling that I got. The first time it hit me, where everybody would talk about that he behaves like this. This is his personality. He talks like this. He does this. This is how he is. I always thought, why? Why does he do it? What is the reason behind doing it? Everybody talks about misbehavior, challenging behavior. I wanted to know, why does he do it? That was my first thing. I finished off my school, and that stayed there. That didn't got materialized into a career at that time, and that was stayed during that school time only. Later we went further. I did my graduation, I did my masters, and took up various corporate roles. During these past decade, I have done multiple things related in the professional front. But then came a point when I was diagnosed with a rare eye disorder that was keratoconus. Now, keratoconus was when my cornea started becoming the cone shape, and I couldn't sit on computer for very long hours. So I had to withdraw from the corporate jobs. I couldn't go ahead with that. I think that was required because my true calling was something else. I had to do something else. And I got into education, step by step, step by step. But while I was doing personality, only thing that lingered in my mind was, this is not how I want to help the kids. This is not what I want to do. There's something else to it. And that's when I got into child coaching and I realized that how important this part, this childhood is for all of us. Everything we are today is a sum total of our childhood experiences that we have. Nothing more than that. So moment all these things happened and parents started coming to me asking questions about, we want to talk about the future of the child. There's so many things about future. No one talked about that the future is there, right there in your home. And it is there in the home of everybody right here. And that is our children. They are the future leaders. Everything is right there. We don't have to. We talk about lot of elements on which our future is standing. Nation's future is standing. The global future is standing. But no one talks about the kids, the children. No one gives importance to the childhood experiences particularly. Now, when I talk of childhood experiences, today whenever you meet anyone post this event, and you go and you talk to them for 10 minutes, any smooth conversation that you have for 10 minutes, within those 10 minutes, you will realize that certain reflection of the person with whom you are talking, or there is certain trait you will realize is a reflection of his childhood experience. Something or the other, that is going to be there. Without that, whatever we are today is not possible. That could be in very small percentage, but it will always be there. Let's talk about a country, India. And I would like you to please concentrate on the fact that I'm trying to tell you is, we are home to over 400 million children here in India, out of which over 250 million children are adolescents. 250 million children in India itself. That means we are the breeding ground for the future leaders. Tomorrow, we'll be having leaders who will be running the democracy. We'll have people assisting the democracy. They'll be creating families. They'll be the game changers. Most of them will be coming from our country. Doesn't it make this feeling of responsibility double in trouble suddenly? Don't we think that the country, we talk everything globally, but India is playing such a crucial role even in the global standing? Because we are basically the 250 million children that I'm telling you, over 250 million children, is the largest adolescent population in the world. This age window of 10 to 19 years old is maximum population is staying in our country. So no matter where you people go tomorrow, where the children might go across the world tomorrow, most of them will be coming from our country. That's why to make them strong future leaders tomorrow, to give them a leading, successful, fulfilling adulthood life, it is very, very important that the childhood experiences are given a lot of importance. Now I feel that the childhood experiences primarily revolve around 4 factors. There are 4 pillars. Your experience might be different, but it is going to intersect one or the other pillar. First, I feel is your socio-economic condition in which the kids are being raised. You are a high potential individual, but your socio-economic condition did not allow that to be fulfilled. That couldn't be done during that time. Or probably you did not have that kind of potential, that kind of talent, but you had a fertile socio-economic condition and you ended up doing something that was too mainstream, but that was not meant for you. And that happens with a lot of people. A lot of children still have to leave school besides having a lot of potential because the socio-economic condition did not permit that. Second is the role of your primary caregivers. Your primary caregivers will always play a role in your life, not only in your childhood, throughout your life. Now, I like to tell you by an example. आप paragliding करने जाते हो. You go thousands of meters above the ground. In what confidence do you go? वापस नीचे नहीं गिर जाएंगे हम. How do we go that? Because we trust only one thing, and that is the security gear that we are wearing. And that's the role of the primary caregivers during the childhood. A child will perform to his full potential, to the zenith. That is only possible when the role of primary caregivers is to its maximum. When you are able to give them that kind of confidence, that's when the children perform. So they are the security gears in your life. Third most important pillar is your security at your home front. No matter how much parents look for security outside, they'll give you mobile phones, they'll track you, they'll do everything. It happens from the home ground. If your home ground is not secured, if that is not a place where you feel secured, if you don't feel that probably when I make a mistake tomorrow, I am going to be safeguarded tomorrow, my primary caregivers would be standing with me tomorrow, then that experience will stay with you till your later years. Fourth most important pillar is your learning environment. पौधे की गलती कभी नहीं होती है. आप धूप का पौधा बर्फ में लगा दोगे तो वो कभी बड़ा ही नहीं होगा. It will never grow. So it is a learning environment that you are giving. And when I say environment, it plays a crucial role. If you stay in a country which snows 10 months a year, you prepare yourself for that. You don't wear cotton wear and you go outside. And so is the learning environment. Every learning environment that you're providing to your child, right from school to your home ground, everywhere, the kind of cultural experiences you are giving him, the religious experiences you are giving him, are forming his experiences, and which are going to stay with him for life. The rapid development of brain that takes place for the adolescents between the age group of 10 to 19 is phenomenal. We don't forget things easily. And I don't think so the children will agree here that do we forget things easily? No, we don't forget things easily. It is not possible. Now for ensuring that all these experiences are fulfilled and child is able to enjoy it to the fullest, it is important that the primary caregivers, I like to mention when I say primary caregivers, I don't only mean the parents, the guardian, the primary person who's going to take care of the child. His role is very, very important. What is the importance of childhood experiences? Like I just said, there were two brothers, and one turned out to be a successful businessman, and other turned out to be an alcoholic. And in the family setup, they were all dining and sitting, and they were asked, both of them were asked the reason for where they are today. Why is it today that you are here? Both of them gave the same reason. And people were surprised. Both of them are giving the same reason. Both of them said, my father was an alcoholic. Everybody might have the same experience during the childhood. How it is going to affect your adulthood is not something that we can define today. So the businessman thought, I am not going to have this kind of life. What my father did, I am not going to repeat. And the one who probably gave in blamed his father for the kind of life he is living together. So if you say that a bad experience will lead to a failure during the adulthood, no, it's not that. It does not mean that. Your experience can mold you anyhow and in any which ways in your later adulthood. So the most important thing that I like to end by telling all of you here is that I've always felt that childhood is like a germination process. Okay, the seeds under the ground. And like a seed, a farmer makes sure always that it's getting the apt sunlight, it's getting water, and it is getting the right air. Similarly, during the childhood, these three things metaphorically have to be taken care of. When I say the sun, it is the primary caregivers that I'm talking about. No matter whether they talk to you for 5 minutes a day or they talk to you for 8 hours a day, whether you sit together or not, they are like the sun over you, over the children, always. And the massive impact that they have over the children is something that cannot be even defined in words. Lot of time parents feel that मैंने इसको बैठ के ये समझाया था, इसको समझ में नहीं आया. This is what I did, and this did not happen. A lot of times I have told him, or I am doing this thing. A lot of times we also forget this thing, that there are so many things that you don't teach. Children observe, and they are observing 24/7. They are shadows, and distance does not make a difference at all. So before telling the children that this is how it is supposed to be done, we need to start it from here. The caregivers need to start it from there before moving on to the children. Second is the food, the water that the seed needs. Now children need metaphorically water in two ways. First of all, of course, they need a healthy diet, they need nourishment. An unhealthy individual faces unhealthy child faces lot of problems during the adulthood, because the brain development, the nourishment, everything that is required for the child has not been met during that time. So of course, you have to fill their stomachs, you have to let the human body grow, but the food for thought that is required, when you're conditioning them, you also have to condition their mind, what you're exposing to them, what you're doing. We have a major responsibility, like I said, of contributing to the global platform, not only our country. We're just a breeding ground. What we are doing is for the entire planet. So this has to be kept in mind. And the air. Air will play a lot of role. The sapling is going to grow and the weather will always not remain the same. It's not always going to be pleasant. Barish bhi aayegi, hawa bhi chalegi, and lot of times some of the leaves will shed. They'll go through a lot of times when they will not feel good. So when I say childhood experiences, I don't mean that they have to be always happy. This is not what it means. This means that please allow children to embrace every emotion that they feel. Please allow that to be felt instead of being shunned away. Khush raho. Just not let it be. Let it be. Please, please. You have everything. Please be happy. No. During those distress times, please allow the emotions to be felt. Let them embrace the emotions. Let them achieve their emotional milestones. After they have achieved their emotional milestones, that's how this sapling is going to grow. And that's how all our gardens are going to be blooming with fresh, healthy flowers. Thank you.
Thank you.